What's up, my people? And I'm back with another Attila advising video. America is the nation of debt. $16.5 trillion is roughly the amount of debt that is held by American households by the end of the second quarter of 2022. This is a 42% increase from the $11.4 trillion that was just calculated 10 years ago. Most of this debt has been accumulated by people who are struggling to maintain mortgages, pay off car loans, and pay off student loans. Debt is rising every day, and studies show that 60% of Americans stated that their levels of anxieties are so high due to how much debt that they owe. And with inflation being so high, it is more likely that Americans will fall deeper into debt. With rising prices, 43% of Americans expect to have even more debt within the next 6 months, a study shown by Northwest Mutual. The pandemic was a thing out of a storybook for Americans with high debt. When the government waived student loan payments or put forbearances on mortgages, this allowed American citizens to breathe, stop living paycheck to paycheck, save some money, and most importantly, pay off some debt. CNBC released a study that showed Americans paid off a record $83 billion in credit card debt in 2020, but something this good can never last forever. Household debts are rising again as the government pulls back its heroic measures that it put in during COVID. At the same time, the Federal Reserve is rising interest rates. I explained more about what interest rates were in a previous video that I will link below, but essentially it is making it more expensive for us to borrow money in times when we need it the most, like now. American debt is split up into mainly three categories. Debt that is tied to housing, which accounts for mostly all debt, and it is ironic we are dealing with an affordable housing crisis at the same time, so people have to pay more to borrow more money for more expensive houses. Another category is student loan and car loan. College tuition for a 4-year public university rose 179% in the last 10 years. This is on average a 9% increase a year. So the loans that we are taking out for these universities are going to cost us more initially and over time. This is making a whole generation of us wonder, is college even a good idea? With the stress of having to pay for your everyday needs as well as a huge student loan. And that's why I plan on being here every step of the way for all my listeners to show and give an example that having financial literacy and success is possible with no degree, such as myself. Most of my fellow cadets from the private school I went to are only paying off interest on their student loans and not even paying off the principal. So they're never chipping away at this loan. It is a scam. And not to mention cars. Financing has pushed the monthly car payment up to $700 a month, and longer terms are being given out, meaning people are paying more interest on these cars and they're costing them more in total. And lastly, credit card debt. Credit card debt has been sharply rising due to wages not rising at the same speed as inflation. The cost of living crisis that we are facing here in America provokes people to open up more credit cards to help them finance their daily lives. And with high interest rates, the interest on these credit cards are higher, so it is all a game. The economy runs off debt. Without it, it would crash, leaving us American citizens to foot the bill for this fantasy economy by working our lives away as modern day slaves. But personally, I am not with that, and that's why I always say it is imperative that we get educated so we can best position ourselves for whatever there is to come.
There it is, people. Another Attila advising video, where we have everything you need like a corner store. Like, subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video.